Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to dive into the final chapter of a guidebook for writers. Now, this isn't about technique or plot points or anything like that. It's about the deeply personal and often pretty grueling relationship between a creator and their creation.
So let's jump right in. Just imagine for a second, you've written the guidebook. You've covered 119 different topics about your craft. I mean, you've poured every single ounce of knowledge you have into it. So what could you possibly choose for that final, 120th topic? What's the ultimate piece of wisdom you want to leave your readers with?
Well, the author of this guidebook makes a really fascinating confession right at the start of this last chapter. They say this final topic was actually the hardest one to write. And the reason why is pretty surprising. It's because, in their own words, they felt like they knew absolutely nothing about the subject. So how do you even write about something you feel like you know nothing about? Well, you don't turn to theory. You have to draw from your own raw, lived experience. And for this author, that experience was a long 15-year journey through what they call a dark tunnel.
And this timeline? Wow, it really puts that journey into perspective, doesn't it? This is definitely not a quick path to success. First, you've got this messy practice period where everything was just chaotic. And that was followed by a full 15 years described as a dark tunnel. This guidebook wasn't born from some sudden flash of inspiration. It was forged through sheer, gritty persistence.
Yeah, and that tunnel wasn't just a metaphor for a bad week or something. The author describes it as a daily grind, filled with exhaustion and this really profound loneliness. This wasn't about the romantic idea of being an artist. It was about the simple, very difficult act of just showing up and enduring, day after day.
But this long, demanding journey through that dark tunnel, it ultimately led the author to a really profound, yet surprisingly simple revelation.
And at the heart of this big idea is a challenge. Just strip away all the conditions we put on our work. So often we tell ourselves we write for some grand purpose, or for reward, or for public praise. But the author argues that real progress, it only comes when we let go of all of that. So when you ask how they survived those messy years in that long, dark tunnel, the answer isn't some complex philosophy. It's this simple, unadorned sentence, which translates to be honest, I just wrote. The act itself, that became the path forward.
So this philosophy really breaks down into 3 steps. First, stop attaching conditions to it. Don't wait for the right mood or the perfect reason. Just do the work. Step 2 is to trust yourself and just keep going, silently and steadily. And then, step 3, it kind of happens without you even noticing. Through that discipline, you just look up one day and realize the transformation is complete. You've become a writer. So, if the reward isn't fame or fortune, what do you actually get from this long, lonely process? Well, the author's answer is something far more valuable. You gain a reliable partner.
Through this relentless process of just writing, your work becomes this vessel that contains everything about you. It's your history, your perspective, your unique voice, all of it crafted into something so deeply personal that literally no one else on earth could possibly write it better.
And what you're left with is this incredibly powerful relationship. The work you create is no longer just a product. It becomes your most reliable partner. The writer is the only one who can truly, deeply believe in and embrace the scenario. It's something you can trust because you're the one who poured yourself into it. So, after this entire journey, after you've forged this incredible partnership with your own work, where do you end up? What's the final destination? The journey brings you right back to the beginning, the blank page. But something fundamental has changed. You're not facing it alone anymore. You now have your partner, that finished work, the proof of your own resilience, right there beside you, giving you the strength to begin all over again. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. The author found their most reliable partner in the act of writing itself. So, reflecting on their journey, what is the work, the practice, or the creation in your own life that has become your most reliable partner? What's the thing that has seen you through your own dark tunnels?